Every day, something dramatic happens in the Caribbean that affects our lives. We'll give you the details. We'll give you the facts on Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. Here's Eddie Frederick.
Welcome to Caribbean Perspective. So glad you can join us. The story that dominates in today's edition for Thursday, 17th July 2025, and brought to you in association with our friends at Antillean Group. Guyana nears its general and municipal elections, and controversial presidential candidate filed his party's candidates. Details after this important message.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. Protection from all perils, big and small. Reassurance we give, it's so glad to see. Peace of mind, that's our service guarantee. We look after all our family, yes we do, at every opportunity.
Antillean Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
The hurricane season is now upon us, so we as Caribbean people need to remember to think safety and be prepared. Avoid venturing outside during a storm or hurricane, especially if there are strong winds. Rooftops and other debris are often blown about and can cause great damage.
Welcome back. Presidential candidate and businessman Azruddin Mohammed submitted his list of candidates to the Guyana Elections Commission GCOM on Monday last under his political party We Invest in Nationhood, WIN, declaring himself the sole true representative of the Guyanese people. Antonio Day of HGP Nightly News reports.
Businessman Azruddin Mohammed, on Monday after submitting his list of candidates to the Guyana Elections Commission GCOM, was grilled by the media regarding his policies should he be elected to government come September 1, 2025.
I'm the only one looking out for the Guyanese. I'm the only one representing them. So that is why the Guyanese, they believe in me and they trust me.
The presidential candidate for the We Invest in Nationhood party said he will be contesting in all 10 administrative regions. Mohammed, who is currently sanctioned by the United States of America for money laundering and other forms of corruption, when asked if citizens can trust him, gave this response.
Serious to invest in the people, to uplift the lives of the people, because every sector in this country is rotten.
WIN is yet to release its manifesto, but the businessman said his main focus is on the Guyanese people. There is no word on who the prime ministerial candidate will be for WIN. Many young people are throwing their support behind the businessman, who seems to be in intense competition with the People's Progressive Party Civic. Nightly News understands that several PPP supporters have now joined forces with WIN. Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
The Royal St. Christopher Nevis Police Force announced a major decline in crime during a press conference on Thursday, July 3rd, 2025, including a remarkable 75% reduction in homicides across the Federation. Andre Huey of SKN Newsline reports.
30 individuals have been detained following a sweeping multi-agency operation carried out on July 9th. According to police, among those detained are 26 adults who were formally arrested and 4 juveniles who have been placed in protective custody. The coordinated operation, the police said, targeted individuals suspected of involvement in human smuggling, organized crime, and immigration violations. It was led by the Royal St. Christopher Nevis Police Force with support from the St. Kitts Nevis Defense Force, the Immigration Department, and the Joint Security Operations Tactical Team. Regional and international partners also played a critical role, with the Regional Security System, RSS, and the United States Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, providing technical support. Law enforcement executed a total of 11 search warrants, 8 in St. Kitts and 3 in Nevis. In addition to the arrest, multiple electronic devices and other key pieces of evidence were seized during the raids. Officials say the operation reflects the nation's firm commitment to dismantling criminal enterprises and safeguarding national security. They are calling it a clear example of how intelligence-driven interagency cooperation can produce swift and decisive results. The investigation remains active, and authorities have pledged to provide updates as new developments unfold.
Facing a relentless wave of violent crime, the government of Trinidad and Tobago is proposing a significant and controversial shift in its laws on self-defense. The new measures include the Defend Your Castle provision, which would grant citizens greater legal latitude to protect themselves during terrifying and increasingly common home invasions. Tobago Updates reporter Joel Green George has the details.
Facing a relentless wave of violent crime, the government of Trinidad and Tobago is proposing a significant and controversial shift in its law on self-defense. The new measures include a Defend Your Castle provision, which would grant citizens greater legal latitude to protect themselves during terrifying and increasingly common home invasions. Reporter Joel Green George has the details.
The announcement comes as the nation grapples with a murder rate that is among the highest in the world per capita. Recent statistics from the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service show homicides remain a critical concern, fueling public fear and demand for decisive action. The Homeland Security Minister Roger Alexander said the new legislation is a direct response to this crisis.
You will see a number of laws coming forward to treat with home invasion, because we intend to give the citizens an opportunity to defend their castle. Underline the word castle.
The crime-fighting overhaul extends beyond citizens' rights. In a move to tackle school violence, the government confirmed its plan to deploy police officers directly into educational institutions, though the specifics of their armament and training are still being finalized.
There will be officers in the school. But to tell you if they'll be armed or unarmed, I cannot speak to that. What I can tell you, every situation will be dealt with according to its merit.
The minister emphasized that a visible and dominant police presence is central to the government's entire crime-fighting philosophy.
I have said this before and I'll say it again. If the police control the streets, the police can control crime. And I leave that right there.
This multi-pronged strategy, which also includes exploring membership in the regional security system, represents the government's most robust effort to date to manage the crime situation. Joel Green George for Tobago Updates Television News.
You're listening to Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick, in association with our friends at
Antillean Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
Joel Green George shares the government of Trinidad and Tobago has officially revealed the primary reason behind the United Kingdom's decision to reimpose visa restrictions on its citizens, a massive unprecedented spike in asylum claims.
For months, the public was left to speculate. But on July 10th, post-cabinet briefing, the Foreign Affairs Minister confirmed that the UK took action after the number of Trinidad and Tobago nationals seeking asylum on its shores skyrocketed from an average of 15 per year to over 400.
What was revealed based upon that discussion is that a high and inordinate an extraordinary number of persons would have been leaving Trinidad and Tobago to go to the UK to claim asylum.
The minister stated that the majority of these applicants were citing Trinidad and Tobago's high crime rate, claiming to be direct victims of targeted gang activity and violence. The influx created a significant financial and logistical burden for the British government.
In order for the UK to properly ventilate the claim itself, it cost the British people around £65,000 per person. That is inclusive of cost to feed, house, and treat with the person during their stay in the UK. And it rose to, as I said before, extraordinary levels. I think the last figure was around 400 and something person, which
The government claims the previous administration was warned by UK authorities about the escalating situation, but failed to take corrective action, specifically by not passing legislation to share advanced passenger information. The new administration says it is now moving urgently to fix the situation.
That was never done. And based upon lackadaisical or ineffective or nonchalant or non-existent approach to deal with that situation and not providing a solution, we fell into error in the month of March, and they imposed the UK visa on us.
A virtual meeting between Trinidad and Tobago officials and the UK Home Office is scheduled this week, aiming at charting a path towards getting the burdensome visa requirement lifted. For Tobago Updates Television News, I'm Jewel Green George.
The gang violence in Haiti shows no sign of slowing down. Last week, an estimated 27,000 people were displaced from their homes in Haiti's central region following armed attacks. The United Nations mission is hoping to help strengthen political stability and human rights. More in this Africa News report.
Another 6 months for the UN office in Haiti. The United Nations Security Council unanimously voted to extend the mandate of the UN Integrated Office in the country on Monday. This mission aims to strengthen political stability and protect human rights. It will now continue until 31st of January 2026. The insecurity crisis in this country is a complex one, and it is precisely in view of its multidimensional nature that we cannot dismiss the need to strengthen Haiti's institutions and the need to make progress in the political process in order to hold elections when conditions allow. The mandate of the UN Integrated Office in Haiti continues to be crucial in supporting the Haitian authorities along this path, strengthening the promotion of human rights, the rule of law, and political dialogue. Haiti, and in particular its capital, Port-au-Prince, have been the site of a gang war since 2020. Armed gangs control at least 80% of the capital. The violence is slowly spreading to other regions.
Desmond Saunders of ZNS News reports on the Bahamas' Prime Minister Philip Davis's address at the opening ceremony of the Canto Conference.
A riveting address by Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis, who laid bare the deep digital divide that still exists among some countries in the region and the huge disparities and inequities within the digital landscape.
Across the Caribbean, there are still children who cannot access reliable internet to complete a school assignment. There are small businesses shut out of global markets because the infrastructure simply doesn't exist. There are civil servants expected to deliver 21st century services with 20th century tools.
The nation's chief noted that while the technological world is building faster, smarter, and more connected systems, we in the region are still moving too slowly, too unevenly, too cautiously.
We're living through one of the most profound shifts in human history. Artificial intelligence, quantum computing, blockchain, these are not distant possibilities. They are shaping global markets now, influencing public life now, redefining power now. And yet, at the same time, many of our nations are still grappling with the basics, ensuring rural communities have access to broadband.
Prime Minister Davis says many countries can mirror the success of the Bahamas in the digital space. The Bahamas became the first nation in the world to launch a central bank digital currency and a pioneer in regulating digital assets responsibly.
We rejected the view that small states must wait on global consensus before acting. We proved that we can lead on our own terms for our own people. This is what effective digital policy looks like. Action rooted in equity, grounded in law, and aim at building real opportunity. But isolated success is not enough. Because if some countries lead while others lag, we do not become a region of progress. We become a region divided.
According to the Prime Minister, the Caribbean must not drift into the digital space, but must lead the digital revolution. Now, over the next few days, these key stakeholders will discuss key issues within the telecommunications sector and develop a roadmap for the future. Here at Canto 2025, Desmond Saunders, The Bahamas Tonight.
I am Eddie Frederick. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean.
In the meantime, please follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel for daily regional news and more, in association with our friends at Antillian Group.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. Protection from all perils, big and small. Reassurance we give, it's so glad to see. Peace of mind, that's our service guarantee. We look after all our family. Yes, we do at every opportunity.
Antillian Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.